Hey everyone, it's Stranger Grayson here. Welcome back to another horror movie review. Yes, like I said, I'm going to try to get through these Saw movie reviews as soon as I can. I know in the last video, said I'd probably get the review up in the next day or so. Hopefully I kept my promise if this video gets up on time. I literally watched these two movies back to back. So yeah, I just, takes a minute because, you know, I was busy doing stuff, but hopefully this comes out on time. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Welcome back to another horror movie review. Today, we'll be continuing the Saw franchise, and I have a movie here that is a sequel to the second one, which of course you guys already know what this is, and that is Saw 3, which came out in 2006. This came in a 10 film pack. In this Blu-ray set comes with all the 7 Saws with Jigsaw, Spiral, and Saw X. So yeah, definitely a pretty good movie bundle. Saw 3. What is this movie about? So, Saw 3 picks up right where the second one left off. By the end of the second film, I'm going to stop you right here. If you haven't watched the second film, go back and watch that before I start talking here. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's necessary to understand why Saw 3 is taking place and everything. So if you guys don't want spoilers, stop right here. I'm not going to spoil everything. I'm just going to spoil the beginning part. Stop here if you want to go back and watch Saw 2 and see the ending for yourself. But anyways, this picks up at the ending of Saw 2. Eric Matthews is put in the bathroom from the original Saw film after he comes to find out that the whole house game was a setup. It was pre-recorded, made to think that the game was taking place as he got there. But nope, he gets knocked out with a thing of drugs by a Jigsaw apprentice, and it turns out that it's Amanda Young from the first film and the last film. She became John Kramer's apprentice after the first film, and she was playing everybody that whole time in the house game. She drugs Eric Matthews and locks him in the bathroom. He gets pissed trying to get out. He realizes that he's locked up. He's too afraid to cut off his foot. So what does he do? He takes the head of the toilet that, what's his name? Adam used to beat, Zed's head in. He takes the toilet head thing and he breaks his foot. He like bashes it in to where he can break it and maneuver it to just slide his foot right out of the lock. And that was the most, that made me feel so uncomfortable, just seeing his bones break and him breaking it himself to get his foot out. Like that just, Anyways, he gets out, and then we go forward in time. We get to meet a doctor named Lynn, who is a surgeon. She works on a lot of patients. She eventually gets kidnapped by Amanda Young, and she gets placed in this factory-looking place, but then gets reeled into a hospital room, or not really a hospital room, just a room full of medical supplies. She finds John Kramer, and he is dying from cancer that he had from the last movie that he revealed to Eric Matthews. He's even in a worser shape than he was. Worser, is that a word? Anyway, he needs Lynn there to keep him alive, so he puts her in a trap to where if his heartbeat stops and her head gets blown up with a collar around her neck. Amanda, is worried about John. She looks up to him. So she becomes sort of a bitch to Lynn, if I got to be honest. And while all this is going on, we get introduced to a guy named Jeff, who is suffering the loss of his son that died in a car accident. And John puts him in a game where he has to go through and find the people that were responsible for not having the guy that killed his son, maybe on accident, maybe on not accident, I don't know, I don't want to spoil too much, locked up, like, the judge and a witness. So he has to make it through that game in order for Lynn to get out alive, and she also has to keep John Kramer alive. So yeah, a lot of stuff is going on in here, and now the game begins, and let's just say this movie does have some shocking turns. Saw 3 honestly was a bit of a letdown from Saw 2. And it's mainly due to the fact the main character that you follow, Jeff, is such a just freaking slob and such a stupid ass character. And this is definitely my least favorite of the movies that I've seen so far. I honestly would rather watch the first one than this one. And it's not because of the reasons you think. I just don't like the way they wrote Jeff. Some of the characters in here are forgettable, except, Amanda Young and John Kramer himself. I thought Lynn, the doctor, was pretty cool. And the twists that you have with her and John and everything, I thought that was, not with her and John, but, just twists throughout the film. I thought those were written pretty great, but just the main protagonist that you follow in this game, Jeff, it makes you, pissed off seeing some of the choices he makes here. And especially when you get to the final trap, which I won't spoil, but my God, was it so hard to sit through, because he's taking his slow-ass time, and you feel bad for the guy in the trap, but Jeff is just taking his slow-ass time. With every trap, he's just starting to piss me off. Piss me off talking about it. Anyway. Tobin Bell, once again, reprises his role as John Kramer. I think, him being tied to a hospital bed did kind of weaken the performance a little bit, but you also get the same actor that played Amanda Young from the first and second film to come back and play her. It was just, kind of sad to not see them, or not to see John Kramer get as much time as he did in Saw 2. And the way Amanda tries to take care of Jigsaw's stuff and how she wants to become the new Jigsaw, you can tell she's not ready. Even John Kramer knows that she's not ready, especially with some of these traps that are being set up. And I'm not going to say anything else there because that's going to spoil some of the movie, and I don't want to even talk about that. The kills in here, the gore is ranked up even further. There's a lot more gore, a lot more violent stuff, and you feel bad for some of these people that are in these traps. We get our first nudity scene in here. I think this is the only time we have nudity. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just someone tied up in a trap is nude. That's all I'm going to say, but I think that's the first and only time we ever see nudity. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that might have been the only time. The ending has got to be the most, one of the saddest endings ever in a Saw movie. Probably the saddest one that I've seen, and the way that it's ended to set up for the fourth film, I did like, but at the same time, you got to feel so bad for everybody in here that's involved in this ending. It was just really hard to sit through. But that being said, this isn't a terrible film, but it is my least favorite out of the three that I've watched so far. So yeah, I thought the ending, was well written up and tied up. Just a lot of these characters in here made stupid decisions, like Amanda and Jeff. But the twist ending that John did with all these people, you'll enjoy pretty well. I'm not going to go into any more details. I'm going to leave that for y'all to find out on yourselves. We also have the SWAT team member Rig and Detective Carey come back in here, if only for a few scenes, but they're back. So yeah, overall Saw 3, kind of a average to mid-decent movie. My least favorite out of the three so far, but who knows? Saw 4 might be worse, Saw 4 might be better. But yeah, Saw 3, kind of a meh film. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably go to about a 7. A little bit lower than Saw 1. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. The main protagonist just really pissed me off. So that has been my review on Saw 3. What is everyone's thoughts on this film? Let me know down in the comment section down below. 7 out of 10 is what I give it. Yeah, still watch it though. I don't think it's terrible. You can probably get a decent time out of it. I would not mind to watch it again. I'd prefer the other two films over this. Thank you all for sticking with me on this series. I'll try to get the fourth film watched and reviewed as soon as I can after these come up. It might be a few days, but just to let y'all know. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the movie. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next horror movie review. God bless and have a great night. Bye, everyone.